I guess we're ready. Okay, so today we're going to be making a catch cat game. So we're going to be collecting objects that fall from the sky. In this game, it's going to be donuts, while apples heal you from the attacks of the lightning bolts. Okay, Annie, do you want
So
to?
the first thing you do when you're creating a program is that you should go to the little right-hand corner, and then there's going to be a little uh, there's going to be a little picture button, and then you press that, and then you're given a bunch of different backgrounds that you can choose from.
In this case, we're going to be choosing space because we think that space looks cool. Okay. So just like what we did in the Dodge game a few weeks back, we're going to be putting some player movement controls. Annie, do you want to talk about the blocks while I put them down?
Oh yeah, sure. So obviously we're going to start with the when flag clicked, which is just, again, is just making sure that when the flag has been clicked, that our program actually starts running, so that our program knows when to start running. And then we're going to have a forever loop, so that no matter how many times the following buttons are pressed, they're always going to be able to move. And now we're going to be using our if and then conditionals, which will tell us that if a certain key is pressed, then our little character will be able to move to the left or to the right. So we're going to be using the if if the key that's pressed is either the left arrow, the right arrow, and then we're going to tell our little character, our little sprite, to move either 10 to the left or 10 to the right, which should be using the X coordinates. And if you want to be able to access the key left arrow pressed, you would just find the one that says key space, I think, pressed, and then you would just click the little drop down, and then you could find left and right.
Okay, 1 minute.
Yeah, so I know that was a lot all at once, so do you guys first have any questions about that part? Yeah, okay.
Oh, we can just explain it all again. Okay, so when putting it into this big forever thing that you can find in control, it's just gonna run the code inside of it over and over and over again throughout the entire game. So this if block over here, what it's gonna do is it's gonna check if whatever the block that you put in here is true. Oh, do you have any questions? All right, I'll just continue then. So they're checking if this block is true. So it's going to be checking the entire time if the left arrow is pressed. And if the left arrow is pressed, then it's going to go to the code inside of it. So in this case, it's going to be changing the x by -10. So the x over here, it's sort of like the location in the grid. If you move the x by a negative number, then it's going to move left. If you move the x by a positive number, then it's going to move right. So that's why when we have key left arrow versus key right arrow, moving either negative to the left or positive to the right.
I came here late, so I need to catch on something. Are you doing a new project?
Yeah, it's going to be a new project, and it's going to kind of be like the Dodge game that you might or might not have made before, but there are going to be more aspects to it. But yeah, it's a new project. So this is all the code that you need to catch up on for now.
Can you make a new project again?
Oh, all you have to do is click the create button in the Scratch. So you go to Scratch, right? And then you press create here.
Are you all good now?
No.
Or do you still need some help with
So
that?
you know where we do things, like where we put the lines in. You know when we put like the blocks in, like that empty page that we put the blocks in. I'm right there right now. So how do I get to the other page?
What other page? Oh, the page on our left with the blue screen?
I'm
Because
on
that's just our slideshow.
that. Like I'm saying, like you know when we put the blocks, I don't know where to go. Right now, I'm where the blocks are, like where you put the blocks in. But is the old one I made last time.
Oh, is it okay if you ask our teacher assistant? You can just DM her for any questions because we don't because other classmates I think they're ready. So it'll be great if you could go to the TA for any questions. She can catch you up.
Up and down arrows?
So because this time our game isn't going to be having our character move all around the screen, we're just going to have our character be able to move left and right because we don't want it to go too far up or else that might change the way the game will be played. So we're just going to make our character be able to go left and right.
Actually, I'm just gonna quickly show you guys what we're gonna be making. Sorry, I guess I should have clarified better about the catch game. So, as you can see, you can move your character left and right. You have to collect the donuts and the apples. The apples heal you if you get hit by the lightning bolts. So that's why we won't be able to move up because if we move up, then it's gonna make the game much easier. Okay, so is everyone ready to move on? Can you say so in the chat if you are?
I'm not ready.
Yes.
I'm not ready right now.
Already.
Jeremy, were you able to contact our TA? You can just chat them in the Zoom chat. All right, since it seems like there are no more questions, I guess we'll be able to move on to our next slide.
Oh, oops, this is the right side. Okay, so we want the player to begin at the center of the screen, but towards the bottom when they first start. So we're gonna be putting oh wait, I need to do this. We're gonna be putting a blue motion block, which is go to, and in the little white box next to Y, we're gonna be putting negative 130. As you can see, it's gonna move to the bottom of the screen when it does this code.
Negative one. Okay, give me a second.
All right.
2. It's the go to.
Go to X0, Y0. That's what the block should be before you change any of the numbers.
Okay.
And then you're just going to change the Y to negative 130.
Could you go a bit slower?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just added one block this time.
Here, I'll show you again.
Wait for like a second.
What did you add? Missed out on that part.
All right, I'll show you again. So you click motion, and then you take the fifth block, which is the go to. It'll actually say 0 over here. And then you take it and you put it right underneath the when flag clicked. And then
Like when I go motions,
you go to motion, and then you.
but there's no dark blue color. There's just purple and like pink.
Oh, did you scroll down to like this area?
So
Yeah.
maybe try scrolling up.
Yeah, click motion again. It'll take you to the top.
It doesn't work. It's just when I go up, like when I go up, it's just like it doesn't let me go up. It just stays where looks are. Even though I press motion, doesn't like do it.
Oh, okay. Then you can just take the gray bar, see like on the side, and just pull it up to move up to the motion section.
I am, but it's like not working.
Have you tried just like simply scrolling up with your fingers? Just click the area and scroll up.
Yeah, but didn't work.
Do you have all the code that we have right now?
I haven't. Yeah. No, I don't have like the motion ones, but I have everything else.
Maybe you can try saving your project and reloading the page.
How do I do that?
So you're just gonna name your project like Galadriel just did, and then it should be able to save, and then just press the little refresh page button at the top of the screen.
Where's your refresh button?
What are we supposed to do?
Oh, sorry, so you're not answering someone's question right now, but is your code looking like the one on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. So we'll be able to move on soon. We're just answering someone's question.
Also,
You guys-
Jeremy, if you go to the Zoom chat area, someone might have contacted you to try and help you. So if you go to the Zoom chat area, someone should have contacted you. So now we'll be able to move on as a class, and we can go to the next slide.
All right. All right, Annie, you can go.
Okay, so now we're going to be setting up boundaries so that our cat doesn't accidentally walk too far off the screen. So first, we're going to use another if-then statement because it'll help us be able to tell, like, if something were to happen, then we're not going to let another thing happen. So we're going to find the if-then statement, and then we're going to drag it in, and it's going to be in the dark orange area. And then we're going to go to operators, which is green, and then we're going to find the greater than sign. So in between the greater than sign, once you drag it in, you'll be able to drag something else into the white area on the left. And we're going to make that motion, something in motion. I believe it's X position. So that'll just be able to tell us that if our character is trying to go too much to the left, then we just won't let it. So if the X position is greater than 130, which is the edge of the screen, 190, which is just the edge of the screen, then we're just going to stop it from moving. So we're just going to set the position of our cat to 130 so that no matter how much you try and go, 190, so that no matter how much you try and go to the right, it won't let you. And our program will be able to stop our cat from going off the screen.
Yeah, because if I show you right here, if I move the sprite to 100, oh, this is the wrong section. If I move to 190, that's exactly the edge of the screen. So we're just going to be continuously placing them at 190 if they do try to go out. So the blue blocks can be found in the motion category. The green block can be taken from the operators category. And you want to get the greater than sign, which looks like it's like an arrow pointing to the right. And the if block can be taken from the control category. Once you guys are ready to move on, please say so in chat so we can tell.
I'm all done.
Awesome.
No.
All right, seeing that no one has stopped us, I think we can move on to the next slide.
All right. Okay, so we're going to be doing the same exact thing, except for this time we're going to be stopping it from crossing the left side.
That'll be. Oh, okay, never mind.
So we're going to take an if block, I'm gonna put it right underneath. Wait, someone's in the chat. Okay. So once we have another if block at the bottom, which you can get at control, go to the operators section, and then you choose a less than block, which is like an arrow pointing to the left. Then once again, you go to motion, you get to X position, because you want to check where it is on the left or right side of the screen. And then put in negative 190 in the white box next to it. That's gonna be like the boundary at the left. I'll show you. 190 is right at the left.
So it's pretty much the same thing that we just did, except to the left side.
Then you're gonna put 190 at the bottom blue block.
So is everyone good now?
No.
For this little part? Okay, we'll wait
No.
a sec then.
Everyone understanding what they're doing? Because we can always re-explain anything. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm good and everything is working perfect. Yeah, this works.
Like when I started.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
When I started, it doesn't move.
Oh, maybe you should go to the TA for a question because you can even like tell her exactly what's in your code, and then the TA will help you.
What did you say?
You can DM the TA for any questions. Right now, what your code should be doing is that your cat should be able to go to the right, but then not go all the way, and go left, but also not be able to surpass the boundary.
So is everyone good with that bit of code that we just wrote?
Not yet.
Yes.
Okay, then we'll wait a bit longer. Just to make sure everyone has everything down. If you aren't talking, could you please mute your mic just so we don't have any extra background noise?
Okay, I'm all done.
Does anyone else still need a bit more time, or is everyone good to move on? Okay, seeing that no one stopped us, we're gonna move on to the next slide.
All right, so we're gonna be making a new costume. You can get there by going to the costume tab at the top left corner. All right, Annie, do you want to take over and just explain?
Yes. So if you want to make a new costume, well, first of all, we're gonna delete the second costume because these two are kind of just the same thing and we don't really need this extra costume. So we're just gonna delete that and then we'll be able to focus more on our new created sprite.
So we're gonna be wanting to make a cat facing both right and left. So we're gonna take this one and then duplicate it. You can do that by right-clicking on it.
Okay, give me a second.
I can show it again. Just right-click and you hit duplicate.
All done.
So now just to check with everyone that everyone has two costumes of the exact same thing.
All right. Is everyone good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're gonna press flip horizontal over here.
Delete one costume.
Yeah, so when you originally open it, you're gonna have to, I'll show you with the slides. you'll have to delete the one that's running. We just want the one that's walking, and we duplicate the one that's walking, and now we're gonna hit flip horizontal. So now it's
For just
facing
one
left.
of them.
Yeah. So we have one costume that's looking to the right and one costume that's looking to the left.
So does everyone have those two costumes all good?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So now we're gonna put in the code that's going to be changing the direction, like changing the costume so the cat looks either left or right when it's moving left or right. Annie, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, sure. So first, we're going to go to looks because that's going to help us change between the costumes. And then we're going to, because we already have our if statements for when our cat is supposed to go to the left and when our cat is supposed to go to the right, we're going to go to the switch costume and we're going to just put that under the change x by -10. So it's still going to be inside the if statement. So that means that when our cat is trying to go to the left, then it's going to switch to the second costume, which should be your cat that's also facing towards the left. And we're just going to do the same for our second if statement, except we're going to change the costume to costume 1. So that when our cat moves to the right, we're going to be able to have our cat also face to the right. So once you have that little part done, you can try it. You can try it out by clicking on your green flag and then just going left and right with your arrows. And when you click to the left, your cat should be going to the left and facing the left, and the same for the right.
You guys can all go ahead and take a few seconds to test that yourself.
And you can also check that if you go all the way to the left, that your cat will stop. In the same way.
Are you guys all ready to move on?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I haven't done the looks part.
Oh, okay, I'll show you once again.
Because when I click the green flag and click the arrows, it doesn't work.
Are you able to move left or right?
Yeah, it's like just move. When I click start, then it just moves right quickly, and then it doesn't let me click anything.
What parts of this little block are you missing right now?
I don't know. I have like put one when flag is clicked forever. If key left arrow pressed, then change x by 10 minus. And then if key right arrow pressed, then change x by 10. Then it says if x position greater than 190, then set x to 190. If x position, so I have all of the blocks you have except the switch costume.
Oh,
And
so you can get
tell
those.
us to delete the costumes.
Oh, so once what we did, we took this original costume and we right-clicked and duplicated. And what we did was we hit flip horizontal only for the second costume so that we have a costume that's facing to the left.
Oh, and how do we duplicate it?
You right-click and you press duplicate. You have to right-click on the costume. Oh, by the way, you should have deleted the original costume too, which is a cat that's running.
And then what do we click once? Oh, we click flip horizontally.
Yes,
Yep.
so your costume should look like this.
Then changes on. Oh, it looks like it's walking back and forth.
Yeah.
And then you should just be able to add all the purple code that we just added.
You can find it in looks, Then you're gonna switch
What do
costume
we
to.
do? Switch costume to costume 2 or
Yep.
costume 1?
Perfect.
Yeah. So the
So,
left arrow is costume 2, right arrow is costume 1.
But
all
where
right.
do we put these switch costumes? Took in the switch costumes out, but where do we put them? Oh,
You put it
by
in
the
the if statement, which
oh,
is on the screen.
above the change X one.
Mm-hmm. So I think while you're sorting that out, we can move on to explaining our next part.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna create a new variable to put the number of lives the player has throughout the game. So all you have to do is go to variables, click make a variable. I'm gonna cut lives and select for all sprites.
Okay.
Messed up a little, and now I don't know where to put a block.
Can you Zoom chat our TA?
Yes, she told me to share it to her, but it's not giving me the share option.
Oh, can you
I
just
think-
type out what your code
Yeah.
was?
You can just type out what you told us before
Mm-hmm.
I'm
to
not
her
sure
to your
how.
TA. All right.
I'm not sure how. Maybe I'll try it again.
Okay. So now that we created our lives variable, we can actually use it.
Oh, it just turned, but it doesn't move.
Oh wait, can you read out what you wrote for to change X by numbers? Here, I'll zoom in so you can see. It should look like this.
Yes, but it's not working still. Change X by -10. That's what I did. And the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did do that.
Did you put it all inside a forever block? Because this code only runs over and over again throughout the project if you put it inside the forever.
Except when flag is clicked is in the forever block.
Oh wait, what did you say? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Everything except when flag is clicked is in the forever block.
Oh, I see. It's because this blue block of code go to 0, y -130. It needs to be outside of the forever block because otherwise it's going to forever go to the center of the screen.
Which block could you show us that one again?
It's go to x is 0 and y is -130.
So is it in motion?
There's too many questions.
Go to X. What's the first number you said?
X is 0 and y is -130. That should be outside the forever block.
Okay, I didn't put that. I didn't put that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're going to actually use our lives block, like I said before. So we're going to find another start button, and then so it'd be the one flag is clicked. We're going to set the amount of lives that our cat has equal to 3, which is in the variable section. And you're just going to change the number from 0 to 3.
It's not moving. It's still doing the same thing.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Oh, okay. Here, I'm gonna zoom out so you can see the code that we have.
I can't focus because of too many questions.
Well, in that case, everyone who does have a question, please do just Zoom chat our TA. Our TA is very helpful.
And that'll be able to help our class run smoother. So if everyone has set the amount of lives equal to 3, I think we can move on.
I don't get. It's still like when I click the left and right arrow. When I click the left arrow, it looks at the left. When I click the right arrow, it looks at the right.
Oh, what costume numbers do you have switch costume as? It should be.
First costume says switch costume to costume 2, and then the second costume one says switch costume to costume 1.
If you switch if you switch costumes in costume 1, does it look to the right?
It's in the right one. Yeah, it's in the one I put right.
Can you go to the costume tabs and tell me what direction your costume 1 cat looks at?
It looks at costume 1 cat looks at the costume 1 cat looks at the right. The costume left cat looks at the left. Wait, yeah. I mean the costume 2 cat looks at the left.
Yeah, so if you put switch costume to costume 2 in the left arrow section, put switch costume to costume 1 in the right arrow section, then it should
So they
work.
should be in the other side.
Uh, I'm not quite sure what you mean by
But
that.
costume 2 should be costume 1 and costume 1 should be costume 2.
No, costume 1 should be looking at the left direction, costume 1 should be looking at the right direction.
Oh. So duplicate it again.
I would like to say something.
Okay.
Koshika, can you stop asking too many questions? I cannot focus and we are not moving off.
Oh, I'm quite sorry about that. Yes, so it is important to direct questions to the TA, but we do allow questions vocally because that also does help the class. So please only ask questions vocally if you think that the entire class can benefit.
Also, Kushika,
Wait,
I think
I have a question on the first part where it says not the first, when it clicked, the second one clicked. What's under it? It's too small because I split my screen.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'll just zoom in. Do you see this?
Now, can you zoom in more?
To which section? Here, I'll just.
Okay, 130. Thanks.
Oh, it should be 190. Here, I'll look.
no, the first one is 130.
Oh, the first block is 130, yeah.
Okay, so I think while we're waiting, we can move on and continue what we're trying to do with our lives.
Oh, oops. I keep on.
Doing the same thing.
I'm trying to. Why
Just a
is this?
sec, we're having some technical
No, I'm
difficulties.
trying to line up my screen again. It's like, okay, that's being a pain. Whatever. Okay, I think this works. All right. Are we all ready to move on to the next part of lives? Do you guys all have set lives? Okay.
Yeah.
So right underneath the flag where we put set lives to 3, we're going to be putting a forever loop. And then, actually, Annie, can you talk while I place the blocks?
Yeah, so we're having our forever loop just to make sure that whenever, just to make sure that what we're going to put inside the forever loop keeps on happening over and over again. So we're going to use another if-then block to make sure that if the number of lives is equal to 0, then our game stops because we can't keep on playing if we have no more lives. So we're then going to go to operators and we're going to find the equal to sign, and which is the one that Galadriel is currently taking. And then we're just going to go to variables and lives, which should be a variable that you previously made, and then put that and then drag lives into the first block in the first white circle. And then you're just going to change the number 50 to 0, which will make sure that our if loop is saying that if the number of lives that we have is equal to 0, then something's going to happen. So then we're going to go to control again, right? Control. Yeah, control, and then there's going to be a block says stop all, and so that just again, we want to make sure that if our lives does come down to 0, then everything will stop.
Just like how in every game that you normally play, when the lives hit 0, then game over. So it's same thing in this case. We're going to stop all the code in the entirety of the project when the lines hit 0. I'm going to give you a few seconds to put all your code down. And I'll zoom in so you guys can see that.
I'm all done, so okay.
All right, is everyone else ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're going to be making the lightning bolt attacks now. So this is what the player will have to dodge. So we go to the little circle with the cat plus sign at the bottom right corner, and we just click it, and we'll be brought to this choose a sprite screen. And in the search bar, just type in lightning and select it. So now we have a lightning sprite.
Oh, can you give me a minute? I forgot to get a backdrop.
Yep.
Yep.
The backdrop that we're using is called space.
Can you zoom in on the making the enemy part 1?
Yeah, so I'll just go here. So we go to the bottom right corner and we hit this. And so I'm gonna go to the search bar. I'm gonna type in lightning and then select the lightning sprite. There shouldn't be any code in it yet, so it should just look like this. Is everyone good?
Yep.
Great. Okay, so we're gonna resize it to size 50 because right now it's like super big, so it'll be hard to dodge. So just type size 50 into this box over here.
Oh, 1 minute.
So now it's much more manageable.
So does anyone still need a bit more time, or are we all good with that?
It's time.
Wait, did you mean by that to move on?
I think so. Okay, so
Time.
Oh, a bit more time? Then let's just wait a little more.
okay, so the majority of the people seem ready to move on. I think we're going to be able to move on.
Wait, it's going to be posted on YouTube because I kind of missed a couple of parts and
Yeah.
I made it. It's okay.
So now we're going to actually be cloning our lightning bolt so that it's not just one lightning bolt that flies from the sky. So make sure that you're in the lightning bolt sprite so that your screen is clean before you add the following code. So you're gonna go to the when flag is clicked, and then you're gonna have a forever loop so that the clones keep on happening. And then you should also do create clone of myself, which should also be in control.
I hear mixing up the orange and the yellow colors.
It's the second to last one in the control, which would be the dark orange. And then you're going to have it wait. And then there should be a little blank between wait and seconds. And you can go to operators and then pick random between 2 to 5 seconds, because we don't want our lightning bolt to be coming down every 2 seconds or every 5 seconds. We want it somewhere in between, so it seems a bit more random.
Yeah, it's gonna choose a number between 2 or 5 every time. Is everyone good with that?
No.
So all the orange blocks can be found in control, but the green pick random block will be found in operators. Does everyone understand the code that we're making though?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I don't have the, wait,
until, wait seconds.
Oh, you
So
could.
wait, it should be wait like 1 second. That's how it should be in the beginning, but it's in controls. It's in the orange one.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's in control, and you go to operators and you drag in this block, and you put in 2 to 5.
All right, does anyone still need a bit more time, or are we good to move on? Okay.
Okay. So now what we're gonna hide the lightning bolt sprite, because it's going to be hiding while it makes clones of itself. Because itself it's not gonna fall, but clones are.
I am not.
Okay, so for the clones, you have to give it code for when I start as a clone. You can find it in the control section. So the first thing that the clones will do is show. So you go to looks for that code, and then you drag in the show block. Has everyone got that?
Yes.
All right. So I think we can move on.
Okay, cool.
So now we want our clone to actually move randomly. So they're all going to start at the top of the screen, but we want them to choose random places to start dropping. So we're going to go to motion, and then we're going to pick a go to X, and it'll be like go to X, Y. So you're going to drag that in, and then you can change the Y first, and we'll change it to 211 because that's going to be the top of the screen. And then you're going to go to operators, and you're going to find the pick random from 1 to 10 again. And then you're going to drag that in to the X area. So that'll be the first circle. And then you'll change it from negative 230 to positive 230. And so that's just going to make sure that our lightning bolt finds a random space from the top of the screen to start falling down.
I'll just show you really quickly. So the location for the X is negative 230, and it's all the way to the left. Well, if it's positive 230, then it's going to be all the way to the right. Just going to put in the center. Is everyone good with that?
Not yet. I'm not done yet. Okay.
I just shared it. What should I? Because I don't know how should I do it. I shared it in the chat.
Oh, you can, if you've shared it, you can send the link to the TA, and the TA will help you. Oh, is everyone ready to move on?
Not yet.
Okay.
Ladriel,
Okay.
could you move it like more, because part of the
Left?
code got cut off.
Oh, let me zoom out. Is this okay?
Yeah. All right, so is everyone good with the code that we have on the screen so far?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna give every clone a random horizontal position to glide to when it appears. So basically, we're going to be first getting the glide block, or forever block, sorry, the forever block from control, and then a glide block. So the glide basically moves the sprite to the location. In this case, the clone is going to be moving to the location. So we're going to have to get another pick random block. We're going to put it in the very first white space and put in 3 to 5. Because we want to, change the speed slightly for each lightning bolt. I'm going to put that inside the forever block. And then we're going to put in X position.
Okay, 1 minute. That's pick random 3 to 5.
That's gonna make a speed different for each clone slightly. So it's gonna move all straight down to -211.
1 minute. 3, 2, 5, and then it goes set seconds to x position -211.
Yep. Like I said, this is just gonna pick a random speed, and then it's gonna move straight down to -211. And then once it's there, we have to delete the clone because once it hits the ground, we want it to disappear.
Oh, wait a minute. Can you?
Yeah.
Can you redo the code for a minute because I didn't see.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just get rid of it then.
Mhm.
So we get our forever loop, and then we go to motion. We click glide, which is going to move it slowly from one location to another. And we choose operators, and we get our pick random block. So that's going to pick a random number from 3 to 5. So all lightning bolts are going to take either 3 or 5 seconds to move all the way straight down. We're going to choose our put in an X position block in the X section because we want it to move straight down from wherever it is. And I'm going to go press -211 in the Y section because we want it to go all the way to the bottom of the screen, and -211 is the bottom of the screen. And then once that is done, we're just going to control and delete the clone because we want it to delete itself once it hits the ground, because once it hits the ground, it's just going to stay there. Here, I'm trying to zoom in, but it's kind of long. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Is everyone finished?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Annie, do you want to take over?
So now we want to make sure that when our clone, in this case, when our lightning bolt actually does hit our cat, that it takes a life away. So we're going to find the when I start as a clone button, and we're going to put it in a forever loop just to make sure that it'll keep on going again and again. And those two are all in control, which is the dark orange one. Just the normal orange, not the dark orange. And then you're going to find an if-then statement. And then you're going to drag that into the forever loop. And so this is telling us that if our lightning bolt touches our cat, then we'll take one life away. So we're going to use the should be the first one in sensing, and it should say touching mouse pointer, but you can just click on that drop down button and you can change it to if touching sprite 1, because that's the name of our first character. And then you're going to be able to go to variables, and then using the variable that we created before called lives, we're going to be able to change lives by -1, because that's going to take one life away when it goes into this if loop. And then we're going to delete the clone just to make sure that when it does hit our sprite, that the lightning bolt disappears. So does everyone understand that?
Yes. Yes.
That's great.
Anyone have any more questions about that part? Need more time? Right, seeing as there are no questions, we're going to move on.
All right, so we're going to be making a new variable. So go to the variable section and hit make a variable. I'm going to call it score because it's going to keep track of all the donuts that we're going to collect. So I'm going to do for all sprites, hit OK, and it should pop up in the top left section of your screen here. So we're going to go back to the cat sprite. Wait, do you guys all have the variable?
Yes.
All right. So right underneath the code that says set lives to 3, we're going to put set score to 1. We're going to start with a score of 1.
Also, just a reminder that this is in the Sprite 1 code.
Yep, this is the cat sprite.
Wait, where are we?
In the cat's code. Sprite
okay.
1's code. So this should be the area that has if the key is moving to the left, then you're gonna move to the left. It should be that area, the one without the clones. So all we did for this step was just to set the score to 1. Any questions?
Nope.
All
Need
right.
any more time?
No.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, although the slides say score to 0, but we're actually setting score to 1. Okay. So we're going to go back to the lightning sprite, and we're actually going to make it wait a little before it starts making clones, because we don't want to immediately drop an attack on the player. So we're going to go to this area. See this where I'm zoomed in the code of the lightning sprite, and then we go to the wait. We go get a wait block, put it underneath hide, go to operators, and get a pick random block. And inside the pick random block, we put 0 to 2.
And just
All
a
this
reminder, this wait block should be outside of the forever loop.
Zero, 2.
So does anyone need any more time?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we'll move on. Anything you want to explain this?
Yeah, sure. So we're going to be using the division blocks to divide the random blocks by the score and wait for the glide blocks. And so this will just make sure that the speed between the different lightning bolts is going to be different and it's going to speed up as time goes on. So we're going to go back to the code that we just had, and we're going to and then we're going to add a wait pick random 0 to 2 divides. So you're gonna drag that on top of the 2, I think.
Yep, we're going to take what we just made, the pick random block, and we put it in the first section. And we get score from variables, and we divide it by the score. That way, the waiting time speeds up. We're going to do the same exact thing for the code inside the forever loop. We're going to get a division block from operators. It's going to be the one with the slash sign. We put the pick random inside the first circle for the division block, and we divide it by the score.
Okay.
And in this way, it's gonna depending on how fast the lightning bolt's going, it's gonna influence the score in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, a faster lightning bolt is gonna be harder to dodge than a normal than a really slow one.
The top section that I'm showing here, this is going to be speeding up the spawn rate, while the middle section, which I'm about to change now, this is going to change the actual speed. So we go to operators, choose the slash, the division block. We put pick random in the first slot, and then we put score. We put score in the right white space, and that's going to speed up the actual clone's fall.
Wait a minute.
Here, I'll show it.
Okay. So pick random. All done?
Okay, so it's actually 2:58. So right now, all our game has is that you're able to walk around and wait, let me just walk around while the lightning bolts fall. So if you get hit, the lives go down. We don't really have time to add anything else. But next week, what we're going to do is add donuts that fall from the sky to raise your score and apples that fall to heal your lives. So it was really awesome to see you guys all here again. If you guys do have any problems, you can ask questions now. So I'm gonna stop screen sharing, or I can keep it up. Do you guys want me to keep screen sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you don't have any more questions and are finished with everything we have here, then feel free to go. And we'll continue the project next week,
Yeah.
like Galadriel said.
How many more lessons are there gonna be?
Actually, next week is the last week.
Next week is the last week?
For the summer, we don't have any plans after the summer yet. We might do something, but nothing is confirmed. But for sure, we have one more confirmed lesson next week.
Okay.
So feel free to go if you have all the code down. If you have any more questions about anything we did today, you can ask them.
Oh, and definitely put your projects inside the studio that we made. I'm gonna send the link in the chat once again. This is the, oh, if I just sent it privately.
Yeah.
This is the studio link to put in your class projects. But if you want to share any projects that you made that you think are really cool, then this is the link to put any cool. All right, should I stop screen sharing or do you guys still want to put up?